Hey guys, MoiDawg here, and today we're taking a look at B21, the newest patch to Squad. After a hardware failure delayed the initial launch from the end of July to August 5th, we were finally able to get our hands on the update late Wednesday afternoon. Much of the hype around the patch has been around the new weapon and vehicles, but there are a few more things that have been included in this update, as well as some big gameplay changes that have been postponed. So let's take a look at the patch notes and see what we're in for. Before we do, I do want to remind everyone that I stream a lot of Squad on Twitch, at twitch.tv/MoiDawg. I play nearly every kit and vehicle in the game, and as an official Squad partner, we're able to also offer some unique looks into upcoming patches and new content before they're released. Whether you want to watch some Squad live, chat about the new updates, or even squad up for some viewer games, I really encourage you guys to check out the stream, and I hope to see you there. The roadmap Squad published last month had us all excited for some fresh new content. Brand new infantry gameplay changes, 100 player server testing, new vehicles, and even a new weapon. Although this patch still has me hyped, it looks like a number of things have not been included in B21 and have instead been pushed back to B21.1. The items delayed include the new rally point system, where rallies are now deployable objects that must be rearmed, a FOB bleed out system that allows for teams to try and save a FOB after it's been destroyed by the enemy, and 100 player server testing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit bummed not to see these gameplay changes in at the moment, but to be honest, I'd rather have them done right than just pushed out to meet a deadline. In saying that, the community manager Crispy has even stated on the official Discord that B21.1 is scheduled to release next week on August 12th. So hopefully we're not waiting too long to get our hands on the new mechanics and 50 on 50 games. Now, the one infantry change that has been pushed out was a 2% reduction of player movement speed. And although I haven't really noticed this at all, I'm keeping an eye out to see if this affects mobility and especially the stamina system. But enough of what isn't in the patch, let's see what is in B21. As with nearly every update, we've gotten another pass at optimization and stabilization, with one of the most important fixes being the audio hitching bug, which caused some players to experience huge graphics lag and hitching when some sounds would play. Speaking of audio, the VoIP overhaul has also been implemented, allowing for left and right audio channel separation for players. In the audio settings menu, you now have channel options where you can select all of your command comms, for example, to be in your left ear, and all of your squad comms to be in your right ear. Local comms are not affected. I tested this out and set up my comms to be the following: 100% command chat on my left side and 100% of squad chat on my right side, and I played a bit to try it out in game. Now, I don't know if it just takes some getting used to, but for me, these audio settings made it incredibly confusing and disorienting. I couldn't really get the hang of who was talking, and whenever someone did talk, it felt as if they were literally right on my shoulder next to me, even closer than proximity local chat. After a while, I actually started getting a bit nauseous due to the audio levels, and when things started going crazy in command and squad comms, it just made me feel worse. I want to put a huge disclaimer here and say that I am the type of person that even gets sick when trying simple virtual reality games. So maybe it's a me thing and I need to play around with my settings or simply play with it a bit more to get used to, but I can't not share my experience here. I think this is ultimately a good audio change to help reduce confusing comms, since those who were listening to the stream as we played said it was a lot easier to follow command and squad comms since they weren't stepping on each other anymore. Still, speaking with others who have tried it, I don't think I'm alone in feeling nauseous with the new system. For me, unless there's some sort of greater audio fix out there and the current command squad channels aren't supposed to sound like this, I may ultimately go back to the old VoIP system. Either way, I'd really recommend you trying this for yourself, play with the sliders, and see what works for you. In addition to the channel separation, squad leaders and commanders also have audio dampening and priority speaker privileges, which means that when the squad leader is talking, other comms in squad chat are dampened so you can hear him speak. This is the same for the commander, and when he uses the command radio, all other squad leaders in-game are dampened if they're speaking on command chat in order to see what he has to say. As communication is key in Squad, I think this is a good change and should help make it easier to hear important comms during games. You'll also notice a new audio input and output section as well that allows you to select the microphone and speaker or headset you want to use for Squad. Once selected, the game does require a restart to take effect, but it does seem to work just fine. Having the ability to play around with these settings without having to go into the Windows sound settings is really nice, and it even allows you to separate audio if you want it to be heard somewhere else than your main audio setting. Now, on to the more exciting parts of B21, the new stuff. First, we have the SVDM, the new Russian marksman rifle. This thing looks beautiful, and it finally brings the Russian marksman into the modern era with a BIPOD. The SVDM has a 10-round magazine and a powerful 8x scope, allowing for ranging up to 1,000 meters. Now, although the American marksman can also range up to 1,000 meters, their rifle only has a 6x. Comparing the two, you can definitely see the SVDM has quite a big advantage now at longer ranges. The rate of fire is pretty quick, and although the recoil took some getting used to, you can fire accurate shots at a fairly high speed when bipoded. If you haven't deployed your bipod, however, the weapon does have a huge kick, so hopefully this will discourage players from running and gunning. Overall, the SVDM is a pretty huge buff to Russian infantry, and I'm looking forward to trying it out a bit more in the real games. The Russians have also gotten 2 new vehicles, the KAMAZ truck and the Tiger armored car, or Tiger. The KAMAZ replaces the Ural for all transport and logistics trucks, and it's really an upgrade for the faction. This truck flies, and although it does seem a little top heavy, it's really fun to drive around. It seems a bit quieter than the Ural and also has a nice darkened front window to help protect you from the sun during those long Logi runs on Tallil outskirts or Kohat. I think we'll see a few of these trucks flipped as players get used to the handling, but at the moment I think it's better than the British Logi, which is typically the community favorite when it comes down to trucks. The Tiger has 2 variants, an open top that can carry 8 players and 600 ammo, and a Crows variant that seats 9 and carries 300 ammo. Both are equipped with the NSV heavy machine gun and even smoke launchers, with the open top smoke being deployed from the driver and the Crows being controlled by the gunner. Although the open top has the NSV we are all familiar with, the Crows Tiger gives us this awesome new sight for the gunner. On the top left, we can see the turret direction and elevation, with the gun allowing pretty decent range all around the vehicle. The sight itself is ranged for 900 meters in the center, with a 2-stage zoom and automatic range finding. Additionally, the Crows has 2 different firing modes, automatic and burst. The burst fire mode fires 4 rounds at the target, which should help put out accurate fire on targets at long range while conserving ammo. Overall, this thing is a beast, and even though it's tiny compared to the American MATV, it should be a huge help to the Russian faction. Personally, I thought the Tiger would replace the scout car for the Russians as a whole, and for the most part it has. Since I typically play random advanced and secure, I loaded up the first RAS layer that had the Russian faction for all maps to see which ones had the new vehicle. For those that didn't have Russians on RAS, I picked the first AAS layer. Now, on almost all RAS layers where the Russians are up against the American MATV or Canadian TAPV, they seem to get the Tiger, with the only real exceptions being Mutaha and Yeho, which seem a bit odd, and to be honest, I think it's really just an oversight. When going against Great Britain, however, like on Tallil RAS V4 or Goro RAS V2, they still get the BRDM. I think this may be a placeholder up against the Bulldog until the British get the Foxhound in October, where they would be a bit more of a better matchup. The Canadians have also received a new vehicle, the LAV 3, a light APC with both Crows and mounted open-top machine guns. There are 2 variants for the LAV 3, with the first variant having 2 C6 machine guns, one in the protected Crows and one unprotected, while the second variant has 1 Crows 50 cal as well as the same unprotected C6. This vehicle fills the gap in Canadian armor where the Striker or BTRs would be for the other factions, and as you can see has pretty much the same hull as the American Striker as well. Apart from the new LAV, the Canadians have also had some infantry tweaks, like a couple kits like the Medic with hollow sight and Auto Rifleman with irons having now received binoculars. But the biggest standout is the buff to the Canadian sniper rifle. The C14 Timberwolf has had its damage buffed so that most shots, including limb hits, will now be one-shot kills. This is huge, as it makes the Timberwolf the only one-shot kill rifle in the game. It did feel pretty bad hitting good shots with the sniper, only for players to get behind cover, especially since the sniper itself is so loud. I'm interested to see how this plays out in the real game, and to see if these snipers are actually going to be rewarded for being in good positions to overwatch an objective or defend a point. B21 has also had a number of map fixes, including some helipads that were broken, terrain issues, and general updates to keep the game more optimized. But it also looks like Manic has had even more work done to it, with a few of the layers now increasing the number of objectives on the game. With such a large map, seeing 7 cap zones instead of 5 is great for gameplay, since more points means less walking simulator around the map looking for the next objective. Hopefully, this will also encourage better logistics, more spawn points, and overall a better experience on Manic. I really like how this map is shaping up, and I really hope to play it a bit more with these new changes. One last item that was snuck onto the Trello board was the Insurgent Hab fix, with OWI now stating that Insurgent players should no longer be spawning on the roof of the Hab. This has been a long-standing bug, with the problem first trying to be solved last year with the change of the Insurgent Hab to its current model. Still, certain players would still spawn on top of the Insurgent Hab, and most of the time would result in them instantly dying as they are no longer protected. I haven't played around with this too much yet, but I would really like to spawn an entire squad into a Hab like a team would in an invasion layer and see if this actually works, since this would be a huge fix to defending and attacking objectives as insurgents. But that just about wraps up B21. I know many people, including myself, are impatiently waiting for B21.1's big gameplay changes, hopefully coming next week. But with these new weapons, vehicles, balance tweaks, and map layer changes, I'm pretty happy with how Squad is looking. I just don't think I'll be using the new audio setup just yet. But what do you guys think? How are you liking the new content, and where are you most excited to try in game? Let me know in the comments below, drop a thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe for more Squad content. But that's it for me. Peace.